So I purposely waited for this time to record this video because we have now arrived to the 31st day of the last month of the year, which means we are less than 24 hours away from a brand new year. And baby, let me say, 2024 got out of here like it had somewhere to go. It ran out like a baby daddy did on his baby mama during tax time. It was out. Do you hear me? And though many of you have already prepared yourself for the new year, you are already in 2025 with your new goals, your new vision, your new resolution, your new creative ideas. You're ready for the new things in government. You are just ready for everything new. There are some of us still like, hey, listen, if 2025 have anything that's going to resemble what 2024 looked like, get somebody else to do it. Lord, get somebody else to do it, because whew. And though it has been rough, I really want to highlight what you must celebrate as your win. First of all, you made it. Yeah. If I had some drums, it'll be a praise right here. First of all, you made it. It was rough, but you made it. You walked in a hospital, but you walked out. You made it. This was a year you've experienced loss like you have never before, but you made it. You have grieved. Whew. You have grieved and you are still here. 2024 has been rough, but you have some things to really be grateful about. We made it. And I want to talk about the celebrations and the wins that I have. I thank God for another opportunity. But let me say, one of the highlights of this year was working with some amazing young actors and actresses from the Chicagoland area. And I want to say this, if y'all would just highlight the things that's actually going good in Chicago, we'll be off the news. We would. We will. That little percent y'all recording and reporting, yeah. If y'all would highlight the great things that's happening in our communities, we'll be off the news. And I had the opportunity to work with these amazing youth and young adults. And when I say I thought I was a singer, but these young people taught me, sis, you knocking on 50. Yeah, that was good for your day. They did an amazing job. My cousin Cinderella, which I'm going to drop on this page, but those are some of the great things that has happened this year. This year has been trying, but it's also had some triumphs and some victories involved in it. And I want to talk to a few people. It's not going to be for everybody. I want to talk to somebody who feels like you're at the break, like you're like life has been, as they say, life has been life, and you ain't quite ready to go into the new. But I want to talk about the reason you might be in this position is because you're suffering from a condition. And not everybody is suffering from this condition. So if you're not a person that's suffering, I want you to keep strolling. But if you are someone who is suffering from the good heart syndrome, I need you to stop right here. This video for you. If you're not, stroll on. Quit being nosy and stroll. But if you're still here, I need you to comment in the comments, I suffer from good heart syndrome. Yeah, you got a balance of it. You're suffering from good heart syndrome. And this has been one of those years where you're questioning, like, listen, why was I made up like this? Why can't I do to others what they've done to me? Because you're in that never ending cycle of giving. You're always in it. Listen, you are the one that the family comes to. They know that if you get wind that there's a problem, you are Olivia Pope. You're gonna come fix it. You're gonna come fix it. You're gonna make everything better. They know that they can depend on you for everything. And you were in this season this year where you was just like, okay, I know that there's gonna be a return of my investment of me being that person that always is there for everybody. This is going to be the season that y'all know y'all know I struggled a little bit this year. You wanted people to, those same people you poured into, you wanted them to come back and say, hey, listen, you've done for us, let us do for you. And it didn't quite happen that way. And so now you're in that season where you're overwhelmed emotionally, mentally, and you're drained because you felt like your heart was the reason you're in this season. You felt like your heart is the reason you're feeling like you're at rock bottom. But can I tell you, you're not. It's not, but I want you to make some adjustments. I want to read this that I wrote. I said, you're in this season because God is teaching you a powerful moment. And in this moment, you're going to learn growth, transformation, and preparation for the blessings to come. This is the reason why you're in this season. I want to talk about the uniqueness of your heart. You are one that consistently goes above and beyond for others. I want to read it. Your heart is truly your treasure. You give out of the abundance that you're driven by your compassion. You're genuine uplift everybody around you. You are the one that people soaks that positive energy from. You're the one that everyone comes around to be the one that they know they're going to get a laugh, they're going to have a good time. You're the house they come to when they know that, listen, if I need to get there at 2:00 in the morning, I know where I can go. You're that one. And it says, however, this beautiful quality can lead to exhaustion, especially when you feel like your kindness is met with indifference. It's essential to recognize that your heart's capacity to love and give is a gift, but it must also be a gift you give back to you. You. In this season, before you step over into 2025, you must give yourself what you have given to others. And it is important for you to balance that, to prepare that in, to write that into all of those goals where you're like, oh, I need to do this for mom. I need to buy a new house, a new car for Jimmy, a new truck for, you got everything about what you're going to do for everybody else. But this is the time where you're going to have to pencil you first. When we were going out of town for something, when we got on a plane, and I know everybody have given this analogy and you've heard it. When we get on the plane, the flight attendants are going through the instructions of that if there's, in the event there's an emergency, that when the masks come down, regardless of who you're with, whether you're with your baby, your spouse, your mom, your parents, whomever, you must first put the oxygen mask on for yourself. This is the season that you're going to have to put the oxygen mask on you first before you put it on anyone else. This is the season that you're going to have to give you that first thought, that first gift, the first thought of what do I need to do for me? This is that season. And I want you to know, I'm going to read off what I said. It is important for you to create balance. When you give so freely, you often forget to turn around and give that love back to yourself. It is easy to become consumed by the needs of others, neglecting your own emotional well-being. Imagine if you dedicate half the energy you extend to others and give it to your own. What if you allowed yourself grace to receive as much as you give? What if you allow yourself grace to say that it's not selfish to think about you first? What if you allow yourself grace to think about, I don't have the capacity to do it for anybody else other than me? What if you allow yourself to put the oxygen mask on you first? This is that season before you head into that new year. You got less than 24 hours to write down what you want to do for you. Go back and rewrite the vision and make sure that includes you first, then others. Also, in this season, I told you, God is preparing your heart for your greatest blessings. If you find yourself in a difficult season, it is important to understand that God may be using this time to prepare your heart for something greater. Just as a seed enduring the darkness of the soil before it breaks through the light, your current struggles might be laying the groundwork for the blessing that God has prepared for you. God sees your effort, your sacrifice, and your unwavering kindness. He's not blind. Hear this. He's not blind to your pain, but rather he's refining your character, strengthening your faith, and setting the stage for your breakthrough. This is the season you're going to be on display for you. This is the season you're going to write the book for you. This is the season you're going to go back to school for you. This is the season you're going to walk away from the toxic environment, the toxic relationship, for your peace. This is your season. Do not be consumed by that good heart that if I walk away, am I a bad person? If you stay in something that's not benefiting you, you're the bad person. But you're not the bad person to them. You're the bad person to you. Now, let me read this next one. I encourage you to shift your focus. Now is the time to take a step back and reflect. Think about it. Think about how would it feel for you to give yourself the first thought, the first reason, the first benefit. Consider also in this season to give God half of what you give people. I want you to give God half of what you give people. Consider dedicating a little more time to your prayer and your meditation and your word and your self-reflection before you think about what needs do other needs for me in this day. If you don't have the emotional bandwidth to handle the people, be okay with saying that it's not a day for me to give of myself to anyone else other than me. You cannot give out of emptiness. Though it may have been what you have done consistently for years and everyone seems to be benefiting from your emptiness, everyone seems to not know that you have given when you really didn't have. This ain't that season. Yeah, so I want you to really think about it. When you invest in the relationship with God, you're cultivating a deeper sense of purpose and peace, which is ultimately the endless goal that we're heading to. There's a blessing ahead. As you navigate through the challenging times, remember that the blessings are often disguised in trials. Your heart is being prepared for new opportunities, a deeper connection, and more profound understanding of love and generosity. Trust that God has not forgotten you. He has simply prepared you for a season of abundance that you may not yet see. In this quiet space, allow yourself to give yourself the first measure of love. You're heading into 2025. Think about you first. You have not hit rock bottom. You are just getting prepared for the greatest blessing that God has for you. So Happy New Year in just a little over 24 hours. Think about you first.